Hey guys, and welcome to a new episode of Westwood. The next few episodes will be about creating a lake and the stuff around it. And this episode will be focusing on the more wild parts of the lake with trees, rock formations and other stuff, and building a canyon that leads to a nearby river. And then the next episode will be about the marina on the other side of the lake. So it's kind of split up into nature and more civilized part of the lake, and today is all about the nature part. I tried to follow the topography as much as I could with the shapes of the lake because I wanted to keep the natural shape of the terrain. So over here I created this small side stream that is going to transform in a canyon in a bit, to make it more realistic that there was a lake over there. Because if there's a lake somewhere, it always tries to find different ways to get rid of the water in the lake, because there is a high pressure of the water. And as there was a valley anyways, I decided to make a deep canyon that would be kind of the, you could say, escape road, a small side stream that goes out of the lake into a nearby river that makes it all a bit more realistic. So yeah, right now I'll be placing a lot of rocks and trees on the shore of this canyon. I am using the brown gray flame rocks for this canyon because the gray flame rocks are just very good assets, and because the brown color fits the surrounding terrain. Onto the other side of the canyon, and this is pretty interesting because we have this ramp over here, and I wanted to take the opportunity to make it look like the ramp was partly built on top of the rocks. So I extended the rock formations a bit further away from the actual river or canyon. A funny thing to mention is that when I tested it later on, if you drive on the highway in first person, you don't see the river at all. You maybe see a few rocks, and that might be one of the reasons that this canyon is still in its natural wild form and not with campings on top and viewing decks and everything, because it's just very hard to see it from the highway. Next up is the detailing of the shoreline of the lake itself. And we're starting that off with a mansion on the lakeside. It has its own small pier and it's located between two mountains. So on one of the few places on this side of the lake where you can actually go onto the land pretty easily. This is a fairly old house because you see some leftovers from kind of a wall around the mansion, as older houses would have. They also have like a little place for servants to live and that kind of stuff. So it's an old house, and I can imagine it used to be from a person that was very mighty in the world, or at least in Westwood back then. It's only accessible with a boat. Nowadays this place is partly a private property and partly a touristic place where you can buy maps of the nature around and start walks and that kind of stuff. So a kind of tourist center for the hills around. And for the rest of this video I'll be doing a lot of nature stuff, especially detailing the shore of the lake with a lot of grass and just creating an entire forest. So yeah, nature time lapses are back again. I hope you enjoy it. Sadly, there's no end cinematics for this video, as the lake project is only half finished, and I'll probably create a separate video with only cinematics of this lake, as it's a somewhat bigger project. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.